Hi, come on in. Hello, apartment therapy. Hi, apartment therapy. Welcome to my home, my apartment. Welcome to my home in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, whatever you need, make sure I say it that way because I am very tricky when I'm talking. I'm like, I go ways you don't expect and then find out because you're like, so this is the entrance and this is my library. It is color coordinated, but the most important books are behind these books because these are the cute ones, but the serious ones, the ones that I truly learned from, they're all hidden behind. This is where I keep my ancestors. Golden frame, my family. White frame, my husband's family. I just wanted to make my family look more special. This is a cute sign. It's a street in Brazil that has a song that I really love. Rua Nascimento Silva 107. And I brought this one from Brazil. Here used to be my room and then I turned into my baby's room. Wallpapers is still the same. This one is Nathalie Latt. It's a French illustrator. I didn't change it for him, but I have a crib now. This painting is definitely my favorite item in this room because a friend of mine who's a painter did it. And it was based in a photo that I have with my baby in the tub and I love it. He was so little. This is my bedroom with a king size bed. It took me 15 years to get a king size bed. And here I have this wallpaper. From the pattern point of view, it's my favorite. I also love these colors. It's very 70s with these leaves falling like this. I'm not sure, it looks like I'm in a botanical garden, something like that. Very, I don't know how to describe it, but this was the hardest wallpaper to install because it's thick and somehow I managed to kind of overlap them. You should never do that. Don't overlap your wallpaper. And that happened. I couldn't figure it out. So I love this wall. When I move to a new space, I do have the first priority, which is transforming the walls. I think the walls are the skin of the, like objects in a house are the organs of a body, but then the walls are the skin, which is like the largest organ we have. So when you transform the walls, you transform the house in a quick, non-expensive way. So these fixtures are inspired by music amps, like guitar amps, and from the texture, which is the texture of the buttons, to the finishing of. So it's something I like. I like feeling texture in my hands. So if you have an amp, the texture of the buttons are important. It feels special, and I like to feel special to open my very messy closet. It is a light switch, but it's also inspired by the amp buttons. These are all original photos from my cookbook. I couldn't throw them away like I do with a lot of the things that I create. I'm like, I can't throw this piece of paper away. So I framed it. I framed it all together. And this is plexi because otherwise it would be too heavy. It wasn't recommended that I have glass here. So it's plexi and it has all the originals from my book. I get a lot of my ideas when I'm actually making something. If I'm like cutting paper, I work with paper a lot. I do a lot of stop motion in my studio with an animator, and we fabricate things all the time with like paper and scissors and that thing of like cutting paper and measuring and like just painting. It's just so meditative that the ideas, they keep coming when I'm doing that. I think that's why I love it. The process is where the sparkle lives for me. Living room, where I sit and read. This is an upright piano that I got in a church a few years ago. And we really like the sound of it, but we also like the wood. So the guy told me that he had sold this piano to someone else, and I bribed the priest with homemade eclair. And I told him that if he delivered to me instead of someone else, I would make him homemade eclairs, and I did. And he brought this here. I'm sorry. Am I going to hell forever? The priest for sure. But the wood, this, the living room is not huge. It was the perfect size. We are not like professional musicians, so it's good enough for who it is. It's good enough. So, but my favorite item here is this fried egg that looks so realistic from an artist called Vittoria Arslani. She hand makes them, and I love this fried egg. Just there, hanging casually on top of my bribed piano. I have my corn, which is a summer favorite. I love to eat corn on top of this corn. It feels like I'm in an infinite loop, and I carry this everywhere. So like, it's good because you can have a little drink here, but you can use this as a side table, but you can also use as a stool, as a stoop. These are some of my favorite photos from projects that I've done, from my book or the TV shows that I've done. I like how they tell a story. Like, the creme brulee has been recently like broken into pieces, and the caramel's crunchy, the hammer is there. I don't know, I like to tell that's why I call myself a food storyteller. I like to tell little stories about food in film and food photography as well. What else? I have baby pilets. Whenever a baby pilet is growing, I actually replant them and have new pilets for my friends. I've been giving birth to pilets all year, so they don't stop growing. I've always kept my records since I was little, and this one I've always had with me. It's one of my favorites from Caetano Veloso. Transa is an album. He's Brazilian, but he made this album. He's in exile in London, and he made this album in English. And somehow it kind of translates well my life now, because I'm from there, but I live here. My friends are from here, but I also, it's this merge of like two languages and two countries and two cultures. My approach to design is I know everything that I love, and they not always are cohesive in the same style. And I like that. If I like it, it doesn't have to make any sense. When people come to my house, they're like, oh, that's you. I guess they also can't describe exactly what it is, but it reflects a lot of my personality. I want the contemporary symbols, but I think when a new design drinks in that water of the old, that's when things really become perfect to me. I think there's also something there that there must be something there that reminds us of the past, and then that's when it really sparks something on me. When I die, I want my house, if my son gets my house, I want him to look at it and be like, yeah, that's definitely from the 2000s, There are two things that I love in this kitchen. First is my stove, my oven, which is, if you cook, you know. And this fridge is really nice too. I love this fridge. And I do most of my meals here. I always keep a notebook with like recipes that I like to do in the everyday. I like to write things down on paper. I've always done that. And I think I have lots of notebooks, and when I die, I want my son to like know how to make my food, And then I think, but I make cooking videos. He will definitely know how to make, but at the same time, it's not the same, what you're cooking at home. Like my cooking videos are about pastries and French pastries, and this is what I cook on the everyday. It's like that perfect egg. It's like that, that little dish he loves. It's the gnocchi. It's the minestrone. Maybe he's gonna throw it away. It's okay. I won't know. Hopefully I won't know. Oh, there's something I love here. I have customized bialetti that I got from them when I was living in Italy that says Famiglia Costa, which is me. Costa, my family. So this is my dining area. I love how this window, it's like a frame. I don't know, it seems like a painting to me because I can see Empire State Building right there, and it's beautiful. I really like this. I enjoy this. I like my house to be wearable. Like you can touch everything, you can use everything. I don't save good plates for visitors. I always eat in the good plates and I drink my tea in the good cups and I use my stuff, but I also don't want them to break. And a 2-year-old is capable of doing horrendous things to your objects. This is my terrace where I host a lot of my parties, my gatherings. I wanted to get a vibe from Slim Aaron, which is a photographer. I wanted this terrace in Brooklyn to give Slim Aaron's Palm Springs vibe. And I think I got a little bit of it with the fringe in my umbrella. I think the fringe helps. And also the stripes. And my pizza oven, where I make pizza. My magic is like my most memorable nights in New York. I randomly and very like spontaneously invited friends over, cooked for them as they were arriving, and we ate it, and then we did this, and then we danced. I want to be like that forever. And I try to remove the pressure of hosting by remembering that as long as I have something to serve, as long as it's something that's true to myself, which is going to be a homemade meal, and as long as we're having a good conversation with interesting people, that's all that matters. So I don't ever want to be one of those like perfect, like, oh, here's the champagne plus this, maybe not, So I think that's where the magic lives. If you have like a home that you can bring joy to others, that has such an impact into people's life. Like I know my friends, they come here, my parents, my mother-in-law, I know I can provide joy just from like having this place and treating it like it's something special. So.